Hello, my dear student. Welcome to this session. We are continuing with chapter 5 Morphology in Plants, and in last session we have completed with so many topics regarding the flowering plants like placentation, about fruits. So that will help you in understanding the structure of seed. Let us revise again. Placentation, we have seen the arrangement of ovules within the ovary, and they may be of many types. Similarly, in fruit, we have seen the fruits, they are the ripened ovary and they are developed after fertilization only. So this process is also continued when the fertilization occurs, the fruits are developed, and within the fruit the seeds are present. So let us start with today's topic about seeds. Here the ovules after fertilization, they develop into seed. So ovary will develop into fruit and ovules will be developed into seeds. A seed is made up of actually seed coat and an embryo. So two parts, the outer part, that is a layer which is known as seed coat, and inner part which grows in a new plant, it will be known as embryo, and the remaining part will be providing the food. That means stored food will be present like in cotyledons. And if we see the structure of embryo, embryo is made up of a radicle through which root develops, and embryonal axis, and one or two cotyledon. It depends upon the seed. The monocot seed, it bears one cotyledon, and dicot seeds, they bear two cotyledons. So now we are going to start with structure of dicot seed in detail. The most common example is leguminous seeds like bean seed, then gram seed. This diagram which is showing in our book, that is regarding gram seed. If we see the structure of this dicot seed, the outermost covering of seed is known as seed coat, but there are two layers. If you separate the two layers, the outer layer is known as testa and inner layer is known as tegmen. Outer layer will be having different colors, it depends upon the seed, and tegmen will be transparent layer. Then next point is hilum. After seed coat, we will see hilum. Hilum is actually a scar on seed coat through which the developing seed or the growing seed that will be attached when in fruit. To the fruit, it is attached through this hilum. And even the hilum has a small pore-like structure which is known as micropyle. And what will be the importance of micropyle? Through micropyle only the water that is absorbed or imbibed for growing the seeds. Now when the seed coat in the embryo, it consists of embryonal axis as well as two cotyledons. So we will learn about them. The cotyledons are often fleshy and full of reserve food material, as I have told you earlier. At the two ends of the embryonal axis, the radicle and the plumule, they are present. And as I have told you earlier, from radicle, root system it develops, and from plumule, shoot system it develops. In some of the seeds like castor, the endosperm formed as a result of double fertilization is food storing tissue. And in plants like these leguminous plants, so bean seed, gram seed, pea, the endosperm is not actually present, it is fully consumed. And in mature seeds, the seeds are known as non-endospermic seeds because the endosperm is fully consumed. So here we are naming them cotyledons. Here cotyledons store the food. Now with the help of diagram, we will see the structure of dicot seed. Here seed coat is shown, which is dark colored, dark brown colored, then hilum, which is a scar on every seed, because through this hilum only the seeds are attached with the placenta into the fruit. Then when we see the opened section of this dicot seed, the two cotyledons, they are shown. The plumule is shown at the upper end and the radicle that is shown at the lower end. So these two diagrams, they are important to draw in your classwork. Now let us start with the structure of monocot seed or monocotyledonous seed. Actually, they are also known as endospermic seed or maize seed. Any type of question can be asked, but some, as in orchids, they are non-endospermic. Their exceptions are every time present. In the seeds of cereals like maize, rice, wheat, jowar, etc., the seed coat is membranous and generally fused with fruit wall. So here a special term is used which is not written in your book, but here when the seed coat and fruit wall is fused, a special term is used known as hull. The endosperm is actually bulky and stored food. Mainly starch is stored here. Then the outer covering of endosperm separates the embryo by a proteinaceous layer called eleuron layer, where protein granules they are stored. The embryo is small and situated in groove at one end of the endosperm. It consists of one large and shield shaped cotyledon known as scutellum and a short axis with plumule and radicle. The plumule and radicle, they are enclosed in sheath which are known as coleoptile and coleorhiza respectively. So plumule is protected by coleoptile and radicle is protected by coleorhizae. This I will show you in the diagram. When you see the structure of monocot seed, this is the front view, which is the first one. Here the endosperm part is present at the upper end and embryo is shown very clearly. When the same seed that is cut, then we can differentiate the different parts. So endosperm, it is large, almost 2/3 part of the seed that is covered by endosperm. Then the outer layer, it is the fusion of seed coat and fruit wall. Then it is followed by eleuron layer. Then scutellum is the embryonic part or embryo axis we can call it. Then plumule covered by coleoptile, radicle covered by coleorhizae. So all these structures are very much clear. Even I will show you how to draw the diagram later. So now I will explain you with the help of diagram that how the dicot seed and monocot seed it looks like, or how to draw the diagram. So the best example for dicot seed is any of the leguminous seed. Here the dicot seed, if we consider a dicot seed, then it will look like the gram, I'll show you how it look like. So in this way, these are cotyledons. This is the embryonic axis at the center, and these two are the cotyledons. So in this way, at the lower end, the radicle that is present over the embryonic axis. So I am marking here R for radicle, P for plumule here, and these are two cotyledons. So in this way they look like. Now similarly for monocot seed, the best example is maize. So it looks like this. You are familiar with the maize, it is a cereal crop and it looks like this. And at the lower part, when you see the maize seed, it has a ridge like structure, white patch like structure. So there the embryo will be present. So here in cross section it looks like this. The outermost part here, it is the fusion of seed coat and pericarp. So here a special term is used which is known as hull. So this is showing hull. Then here this is epithelial layer, and almost in this region the radicle and plumule they are located, which are plumule is covered by coleoptile and radicle is covered by coleorhiza. And the endosperm part, it is very much clear. Here is the endosperm part. I have shown you with yellow color. So this is endosperm, and the maize seed looks like this. Just near the endosperm part, here is the aleuron layer. I am writing over here denoting by A, and this is a monocot. So in this way, this diagram is important to draw in your classwork. So in this way I have shown you how to write point wise all the things. So you just note down the main points like seed coat, then embryonic part, and more detailed points like this. So in this way today we have learned about the monocot as well as dicot seeds, and you just better do one practical at your home, that please just soak all these dry seeds into a water and then try to observe all these structures. So hope you will like this practical work, and you are more able to learn all these parts clearly. So today we are ending our session here. Take care. Till then, bye bye students.